Today's news highlights. Time cutoff, 1700 hours. News headline, the CCP's hooligan actions bring disgrace to the Chinese people. Release time, March 26, 2024. Data reference, The Epoch Times. News highlights, the CCP's hooligan behavior has disgraced the Chinese people, including destroying traditional culture, stealing intellectual property, exporting fake goods, and playing hooligans on the international stage. These actions not only aroused resentment from the international community, but also caused serious damage to China's image. To get rid of the dangers of the CCP, the Chinese should jointly resist, stick to civilization and integrity, and choose a better future. News headline, what impact will the collapse of the Baltimore Bridge have on the global supply chain? Release time, March 27, 2024. Data reference, The Epoch Times. News focus, the collapse of the Baltimore Bridge in the United States will have a serious impact on the global shipping system. The stuck container ship will affect container transportation, especially car transportation will be the most affected. Cruise ships and agricultural product shipments may also be affected. Transportation costs are expected to rise, potentially exacerbating inflation. The incident will cause disruption to global supply chains, especially around the port of Baltimore. News headline, 34-year-old man earns $49,000 in monthly passive income. Release time, March 27, 2024. Data reference, The Epoch Times. News highlights, American man Ryan Hogg shows how to build multiple passive income streams, including an e-commerce brand, YouTube channel, and online school, bringing in approximately $49,000 per month. He reminded people to get rid of 3 misunderstandings: you don't have to spend money to make money, passive income requires time and dedication, it is not something for nothing, and it does not necessarily require a team. This reflects the importance of hard work and self-discipline to success. News headline, Polam Tea House Kuehtao contains rice fermentation acid? What will happen if you eat rice fermented acid? Symptoms, prevention, and lazy bag sorting. Release time, March 27, 2024. Data reference, Health 2.0. News highlights, Baolan Tea House food may contain deadly rice fermentation acid, causing organ failure and life-threatening consequences. Symptoms may occur within 1 day after infection, including nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, kidney failure, liver failure, and shock. Preventive measures include storing food properly, not buying too much at once, paying attention to how long it takes to soak food, and discarding spoiled food promptly. Once infected, there is currently no specific antidote and treatment is mainly supportive. News headline, can't you use hot water for instant coffee? Experts teach you how to brew it this way, which is more aromatic than freshly brewed coffee. Release time, March 26, 2024. Data reference, Health 2.0. News highlight, instant coffee contains starch and protein, and using too hot water can cause it to clump. Japanese experts recommend stirring with a small amount of cold water and then heating it in a microwave to avoid clumping and brew a fragrant taste. The optimal brewing temperature for coffee is about 80 to 85 degrees. Overheating will affect the taste. Coffee has health benefits, and drinking moderate amounts every day can reduce the risk of death and heart attack. News headline, what's the healthiest way to eat sweet potatoes? 1. How to eat it effectively lowers blood pressure and eliminates edema. This kind of sweet potato has 90 times more nutrients. Release time, March 27, 2024. Data reference, Health 2.0. News focus, there are slight differences in nutrition between yellow sweet potatoes, red sweet potatoes and purple sweet potatoes. For example, yellow sweet potatoes contain higher calcium and vitamin B1, red sweet potatoes are rich in potassium and vitamin C, and purple sweet potatoes contain higher iron and folic acid. In order to retain the nutritional value of sweet potatoes to the greatest extent, it is recommended to eat sweet potatoes with their skins on, and steaming is the best way to retain the most nutrients. Roasted sweet potatoes have a higher glycemic index, so those who need to control blood sugar should eat less. All in all, sweet potatoes are a nutrient-dense food, but they should be eaten in moderation and included in your diet. News headline, regarding the promises made about the Paris Olympics, have they been fulfilled in 2024? Release time, March 27, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News focus, changes in the commitments made before the Paris Olympics have aroused doubts from the outside world. The anti-terrorism alert was upgraded, the opening ceremony was moved to the Riverside, the number of spectators was reduced to 300,000, free tickets were controversial, and plans such as the cancellation of free public transportation caused dissatisfaction. Concerns about the water quality of the Seine led to the cancellation of swimming competitions. Barrier-free facilities and housing are still insufficient. With only 4 months left before the opening of the Olympic Games, all parties are working hard to coordinate to ensure a smooth hosting. News headline, Want to enter the stock market and learn trading, but are you afraid of being treated like a leak? 3 Principles of Grass-Fed Investing. Release time, December 13, 2023. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, grass-fed investing advocates investing in a smooth, self-paced manner to avoid the risk-taking and greed of carnivorous people. Investment should focus on avoiding losses rather than seeking quick success. Embrace the principle of undefeated investment and respect your personal pace and mood. Herbivorous short-term trading emphasizes precise ambush, strict rules, and technical analysis to seize the opportunity of stock price fluctuations. Use indicators such as moving averages, past highs and lows, K-lines, and trading volume to find suitable buying points and maintain a calm and steady investment strategy. News headline, 30-year-old workaholic confesses, I am not afraid to admit that I must have a job in my ideal life. Release time, March 19, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News focus, an ideal life must include work, because work is an opportunity for growth. Through the difficulties and challenges we face at work, we shape ourselves and hone our will. Work allows us to learn to deal with relationships, develop skills, and gain a sense of accomplishment. Even if you encounter difficulties, you can still find opportunities to grow and expand your horizons and abilities. Therefore, work is not only a way to realize self-worth, but also an important part of realizing an ideal life. News headline, Only forgiveness can get rid of pain. Release time, March 25, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News focus, forgiveness is difficult, but not forgiving brings greater pain. As the Bible says, forgive others so that you can be forgiven. The difficulty is in forgiving multiple times, like Lincoln's unsent letter, in putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Forgiveness is not something that can be achieved overnight, but only through forgiveness can we truly be free and get rid of the pain. News headline, Can you lose weight even if you are a piece of meat that can breathe? The popular vacuum abdominal tightening method in Europe and the United States is so miraculous that the waist circumference shows surprising changes in 1 month. Release time, March 27, 2024. Data reference, I am the biggest woman. News highlights, vacuum tummy tuck is a breathing exercise that can effectively burn subcutaneous and visceral fat and reduce waist circumference through abdominal breathing. The steps include taking a deep breath, contracting the abdomen, holding for 20 seconds and then relaxing, and repeat 3 times. Although continuously shrinking the abdomen can strengthen the core muscles and burn fat, the effect on large-scale weight loss is limited and needs to be combined with diet management and regular exercise. News headline, Carrefour toilet paper, kitchen towels, shower gel buy one get one free. Anniversary celebration with 35 million cash coupons distributed. Release time, March 27, 2024. Data reference, I am the biggest woman. News highlights, Carrefour is giving away 35 million yuan in cash coupons to celebrate its 35th anniversary, and you will get 35 or 350 yuan discount coupons when you spend 1,000 yuan or more, and you will have a chance to get 10 million points in bonuses. 100% off on designated brands, and buy one get one free on daily necessities. Starting from 10 a.m. on March 29, download the app and receive 10,000 cups of coffee for free. During the anniversary celebrations, there will also be special offers and lucky draws, so you can enjoy endless shopping fun. News headline, The Counter Sister's secret method to attract money. The live broadcast host lost 25 million blood, his family was broken, he dropped out of school and worked, his life was completely ruined. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yipping News Network. News highlights, a former female manager of a drugstore in Dawin defrauded multiple live broadcasters of more than 30 million yuan in the name of investing in a pawn shop, causing family breakdown, interruption of studies and other tragic situations. The victim said Luo's methods were despicable and hoped that the justice system would not ignore them. Luo once committed fraud again as a counter-sister, and the live broadcasters called on the public to be more vigilant. The lawyer pointed out that if the fraud involved is established, criminal and civil liability can be pursued. News headline, Zhang Lanhao blackmails Big S for having Junyi's seed. Lawyer counterattacks and shows evidence. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yipping News Network. News highlights, Zhang Lan complained to the Shanghai Justice Bureau yesterday against Deng Jiajing, the lawyer hired by Big S, accusing him of frame-up and defamation. Deng Jiajing responded by saying that evidence had been found to prove that Big S was not involved in drug abuse, and called for people not to stigmatize sleeping pills. Deng Jiajing also denied Zhang Lan's accusation that Big S was pregnant, saying that she had verified that there was no record of the two appearing in the same area at the same time. The incident continues to unfold. News headline, The deadly rice fermented acid is extremely powerful. Doctors warn, avoid eating these 2 types of heated foods. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yipping News Network. News highlights. The Ministry of Health and Welfare pointed out that the food poisoning case at Bailin Tea House involved 12 people and was suspected of being poisoned by rice fermentation acid, resulting in 2 deaths and 4 people in critical condition. Dr. Li Jianzhong warned that you should avoid eating reheated rice, noodles, and other foods to reduce the risk of poisoning. In terms of treatment, antibiotics cannot effectively remove toxins and require organ support treatment. Dr. Li called on the public to strengthen preventive measures to avoid similar accidents from happening again. News headline. Anatomy of 2 dead and present cases in Bailin Tea Room. The wife of the marketing genius is grieving, help her husband seek justice. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yiping News Network. News highlights. A food poisoning case at the Bailin Tea House on A13 of Far Eastern Department Store in Taipei's Xinyi district resulted in the death of 2 people and serious illness of 4 others. The prosecutor arranged for the deceased Liu and Yang to undergo a second autopsy in the hope of clarifying the cause of death. The family of the deceased Liu called on the judiciary to give him justice, while Yang's daughter cried bitterly and expressed her father's sudden death. The families of the 2 deceased people were waiting outside the funeral home today, hoping to find out the truth. The development of the case has plunged the Liu family into sadness again. The prosecutor will explain the results of the autopsy later. News headline. Bailin Tea House owner's dark history exposed. The food liability insurance expired for 5 months and I opened a travel agency with a debt of tens of millions of dollars. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yiping News Network. News highlights. The food poisoning case at Bailin Tea House in Taipei's Xinyi district expanded, with 2 people dead and many others in critical condition. The restaurant had expired liability insurance, sparking public outrage. The past experience of Bailin chairman Li Fengxian has been exposed. His dark history includes poor management and debts, and changing careers to the catering industry. The person in charge of Bailin Tea Room has been interviewed, and the prosecutor is temporarily investigating the case as a his name case. Business operators are required to come up with compensation plans and handle them properly. News headline. Tainan was shot again. He wanted to fire 50 shots to sensate the world but the paint jammed. The police arrested 4 suspects and detained 2. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yiping News Network. News highlights. A man in Tainan was hit by a series of shootings, but luckily he escaped with bullets jamming. The coroner has been jailed in the past and has been under attack again in recent years due to land development. A total of 4 gunmen were arrested, 2 of whom were taken into custody. The origin of the gun is yet to be investigated. The police said they would crack down on gun crime and called on the public to provide clues. The motive behind this may be related to land disputes. News headline. Lady Nana eats 10,000 yuan for 1 meal. The money-attracting technique is exposed, and you can earn tens of millions after hearing this. Arrogance turns into humility. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yiping News Network. News highlights. Well-known chef Xia Kating revealed that she once had a relationship with Nana, a wealthy lady who made 1 billion yuan and fled to Canada. The noble lady Nana clicked on the 10,000 yuan package in an arrogant manner, and asked Xia Kating about her privacy and forced to know her family finances. In the end, he even attempted to invest tens of millions in a medical beauty clinic, which was shocking. After Xia Kating was shocked to find out that the noble lady Nana was involved in a billion-dollar case, she was deeply shocked by her fraud and believed that it would be impossible to escape for a while. News headline. 1 severe case suffered from liver and kidney failure shock after eating Bailin fried rice noodles. My sister decided to donate her liver to fight death. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yahoo News. News highlights. Food poisoning cases at Xinyi A13 store of Taipei vegetarian restaurant Bailin Tea House continue to expand, with 12 cases reported, including 2 deaths and 4 severe cases. In one case, Ms. Wu developed vomiting and diarrhea after eating it. She now suffered from liver and kidney failure and was in critical condition. Her family decided to donate her liver. The store has suspended operations, and the Health Bureau has intervened in the investigation and requested investigation. News headline. There is no antidote for rice fermentation acid. Poisoning may cause multiple organ failure within 1 day. Doctor, this is the only way to deal with it. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yahoo News. News highlights. A suspected food poisoning case at the Xinyi A13 store of the Taipei vegetarian restaurant Bailin Tea House has resulted in 2 deaths and 2 critical injuries. It is suspected that the food poisoning was caused by the colorless, odorless, high-temperature resistant rice fermentation acid. The doctor speculated that it was caused by eating fried rice noodles and fried rice noodles. This toxin has a high fatality rate and causes multiple organ failure. There is no specific antidote. Experts pointed out that the source of the toxin may be improperly fermented rice products. The Food and Drug Administration and the Health Bureau still need to conduct tests to determine the source of the toxins. News headline: Lenovo rumored to lay off hundreds of employees in Taiwan. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: Lenovo's Taiwan branch has reported large-scale layoffs. More than 20% of employees will be laid off, and almost all departments will be laid off. The reasons for the layoffs may be related to poor orders and the U.S. China technology war, which poses potential risks to Compal and other foundries taking orders. Lenovo Taiwan is mainly laying off server-related R&D personnel in the hardest-hit areas to cope with the impact of the technology war. Other PC companies such as Dell have also laid off employees, anticipating that market demand will continue to be weak. OEMs are considering expanding their factories to cope with the trend of designochemistry. News headline: Registration chaos emerges one after another. If you increase the price, you can jump in line, and if you have 80 people or more, you will get a 20% discount. The Consumer Council speaks out. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: After the Ministry of Health and Welfare cancelled the registration fee review system, chaos occurred in medical institutions, including increasing prices and cutting queues, and discounts for 80 people or more, which caused concerns in the industry. The Medical Reform Commission and the Consumer Council called on the Ministry of Health and Welfare to reconsider the management of registration fees and not to let it go completely. They suggested amending the law or returning to the original regulatory mechanism. This move can avoid unfair competition, ensure the orderly operation of medical institutions, and safeguard the rights and interests of the people. News headline: Remember to bring an umbrella. The weather will change across Taiwan today. 2 waves of fronts will take over tomorrow, with the most significant rainfall on Sunday. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: The weather is unstable today, and the Meteorological Administration reminds people to carry rain gear with them. A weak front will pass through tomorrow, causing localized brief showers in the northern and eastern parts of the country. The rain will slow down in the second half of the day. As the front approaches from Sunday to next Monday, there will be a high chance of rainfall, especially in the north of central China. Meteorological expert Peng Kaiming pointed out that there is a chance of rain in the south today, but the weather will turn bad in the evening, with some brief rain tomorrow, and the chance of thunderstorms will increase next Monday. Saturday will be warm and hot, with the possibility of brief afternoon showers in the mountains. It will rain heavily on Sunday, so please pay attention to weather updates and bring rain gear. News headline: Wu Shanru's boring coffee shop was smashed with a baseball bat. 2 suspects were arrested and said they were dissatisfied with Wu Zongxian's hosting style. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News focus: The boring coffee shop run by Wu Zongxian's daughter was smashed by men in black. The police arrested 2 suspects. The 2 claimed that they were dissatisfied with Wu Zongxian's hosting style and committed the attack. The police believe this is an excuse and the motive needs to be clarified. There were customers in the store when the crime was committed. The police appealed to the public to communicate rationally and not to use violence. The Da'an Police Branch emphasized that it will strictly enforce the law and maintain public order. News headline: The new goddess Yi Li is a super academic. TOEIC score exceeded 960 points, and it was all thanks to her to receive foreign guests from history. Release time: March 27, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: The Taiwan Steel Eagles are about to usher in their first season as a secondary vocational team. The team's performance has attracted much attention. Yi Li, a member of the cheerleading team Wing Stars, has become famous with his playful dance moves. The number of IG fans has increased significantly. He has a strong foreign language ability of 960 points and has received a group of foreign guests from Eswatini, our diplomatic country. The team's head coach Hong Yizhong admitted that he was surprised by the 1-goal boom, but respected the fans' needs and allowed her to play to show the team's vitality. News headline: Lisa reveals the interior of Seoul Mansion for the first time. Houses and cars worth 178 million are both in these 2 colors. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: Blackpink member Lisa celebrated her 27th birthday and shared a new video on YouTube, revealing a luxurious villa in North District, Seoul, worth approximately NT $178 million. In the video, she answers fans' questions, reveals that she will release a new album this year, and shows a birthday party scene. The interior of the villa is mainly white, simple and fashionable, and Lisa even celebrated her birthday with her cat. The car is a white Mercedes G, and the interior is mainly yellow and black, showing her love for the combination of white and yellow. News headline: 12 days of silence after fighting with Hyori. Han Shaoxi posted an IG post without warning, attracting millions of followers and arguing with each other. Release time, March 27, 2024. Information reference, TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights, Korean star Han Shaeok-si suddenly updated 3 posts on IG, one of which had a butterfly emoji, and also tagged the cooperating stylist, hairstylist, and brand. The photos were prepared in advance and sparked heated discussions among fans. There were fans who welcomed her return in surprise, and people who supported her beauty and romance. However, there were also some negative messages, accusing her of being a mistress. News headline, after being exposed, Shang Yangfan angrily choked, "I look down on you." Yang Xiaoyi couldn't bear to say it all. Release time, March 28, 2024. Information reference, TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights, actress Yang Xiaoyi posted a post on Facebook criticizing a host for pandering to her CO star but rolling her eyes behind her back, sparking discussion. Netizens suspected that the target was Bai Bingbing's partner Yang Fan, and Yang Xiaoyi responded, "I'm going to fight you." Actor Tu Chenyang revealed that he once appeared on the I Love Bingbing show program, but later seemed to be banned, sparking more speculation. Bai Bingbing's agent denied the ban. News headline, Xiao Tiantian is revealed to be a double-faced person. The truth about breaking Kyle is revealed personally. All the relationship status is explained. Release time, March 27, 2024. Information reference, TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights, actress Jang Kyun, Xiao Tiantian, was accused of breaking up with her female close friend and cutting off contact with her best friend Kyle. She clarified through social media that she and Kyle have not broken up. She emphasized the importance of friendship and family, and said that as a mother, she has a clear understanding of relationships, but children are more important. Not responding to personal matters of future friends. The double-faced person mentioned by Yang Xiaoyi was also denied by her. News headline, Huang Taiwi holds a farewell ceremony before his death. Live footage exposed, big names gathered. Release time, March 27, 2024. Information reference, TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights, the fire extinguisher band released the MV for The End of Life, which uses the theme of missing old friends and narrating issues of life and death in the week before Qingming Festival. Huang Taiwi and other Golden Male supporting actors worked together with the theater stars to create a touching plot that resonated. Huang Taiwi showed superb acting skills, and the director and the orchestra praised his eye expression. Yang Dachun personally selected the roles and assembled outstanding stage actors. The director praised his casting vision. This MV is regarded as a farewell before death, conveying the cherishment of friendship and reflection on life. News headline, which Chuanlian soy milk is the best? Insiders highly recommend these 2 brands, the ingredients are simple. Release time, March 27, 2024. Information reference, TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights, a netizen asked about alternatives to Yaimei soy milk in the I Love Quanlian Honestly Good Things Club, sparking heated discussion among netizens. Among the many responses, Uni President soybean milk and Guangchuan soybean milk were widely recommended, especially Uni President sugar-free high fiber and Guangchuan sugar-free black soybean milk. Other brands such as Tweet Thick, 5.1 Extra Thick and Yam and Jobs Tears soy milk have also received some positive reviews. These alternatives taste different and are worth trying. News headline, Taiwan's He Guang case / calling Hao Longbin to come out and face him. Wang Shijian, K Wenz and Zhang Wanan are trapped by contracts. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Liaj Daily. News highlights, Democratic Progressive Party legislator Wang Shijian pointed out that the initiator of the Tai Chig-Wang case should be held accountable to former Mayor Hao Longbin. He signed a 25-year long-term contract with a specific company to provide rent-free privileges of 1.25 billion. K Wenz and Zhang Wanan are trapped by the contract and have difficulty solving the problem, but they should face it bravely. Wang Shijian called on Hao Longbin to come forward and apologize to the society. In addition, after the arrest of Congressman Chen Chongwen, the dispute between the Taipei City government and the Taipei City Police continued to ferment. Wang Shiqiang emphasized that the culprits of the Tai's He-Guang case should be clarified and justice should be upheld. News headline, Zhong Xiaoping reported on stealing official documents. Chen Haihan refuted, all official documents can be accessed by asking for money from MPs. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Liaj Daily. News highlights, KMT Taipei City Councillor Cheng Xiaoping accused People's Party Chairman Ko Wenz and Legislative Yuan People's Caucus Director Chen Haihan of stealing official documents, triggering a fierce backlash. Chen Haihan responded by pointing out that Taipei City's official document system is an electronic system, and members can check all relevant official documents by asking for money. There is no such thing as theft. DPP Councillor Jian Shupei questioned the North City government's accusation, saying that members can obtain documents through request for money, including agreements from the Education Bureau or Water Resources Department, and there are no confidential documents. News headline, Zuckerberg and Jensen Huang swap jerseys. Fans laughed, isn't this an AI-generated photo? Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Liaj Daily. News highlights, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg shared a photo with Weta founder Huang Rongsun on IG on the 27th. The two exchanged jersey styles, sparking heated discussion. Zuckerberg puts on Huang Jensen's leather jacket, and Huang Jensen puts on Zuckerberg's plush coat. The picture is interesting. The two are worth more than $8 trillion in total, and the photo was described as an epic photo together. Netizens discussed the photo curiously, and some also ridiculed the big difference in the coats worn by the two, and speculated whether it was a real photo. News headline, Darwin man died while climbing the Three Gorges. His pet dog guarding owner for 4 days followed the body down the mountain. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Liaj Daily. News highlights, a man in Darwin City disappeared after hiking on the 23rd. After his family reported the case, the police and firefighters launched a search. On the 27th, his body was found at a farm near Sangxia, New Taipei City, with his pet dog Heapy waiting nearby. The police pointed out that there were no signs of external intervention and the cause of death was yet to be clarified by examination. The search team found the body after hearing the barking of the dog, and Heapy stayed with his owner until he was found. News headline, Can't the Japanese afford food? Noble ingredients become more accessible to the people. Release time, March 28, 2024. Information reference, Free Electronic News. News highlights, Japan's rising inflation has caused consumers to reduce their purchases of high-priced food, and the Wagyu beef market continues to be depressed due to the imbalance between supply and demand. This year the wholesale price of A5 Wagyu beef fell to 2,500 yen per kilogram, a decrease of 5%. As consumers switch to cheaper meat, demand for beef has declined, and the JA All Agricultural Meat Report shows that the market is still oversupplied, with demand expected to shift to crossbred cattle. Data from the Japan Agriculture and Livestock Industry Promotion Organization shows that calf transaction prices have also fallen for 28 consecutive months, putting pressure on livestock farmers. News headline, Pollen suffered 13+1 food poisoning injuries. Shweruiwan reveals the two directions of pursuit. Release time, March 28, 2024. Information reference, Free Electronic News. News highlights, a food poisoning case at Bailin Tea House in Xinyi District, Taipei City has caused 2 deaths. A total of 13 cases have been reported. The possible causes are divided into microorganisms, endogenous toxins in food materials, and external toxins. The expert meeting favored the latter two and examined possible rice fermentation acids. Shweruiwan pointed out that the case was special and the time from onset to death was very short. It was different from ordinary food poisoning. The Ministry of Health and Welfare had accelerated the investigation and cooperated with the investigation. News headline, Hunting for Russian traitors. Ukraine intelligence chief reveals inside story of assassination attempt. Release time, March 28, 2024. Information reference, Free Electronic News. News highlights, Malyuk, director of Ukraine's National Security Service, SBU, revealed that possible assassinations in Ukraine have killed more than a dozen collaborators, including Russian military blogger Tatarsky and former member of parliament Kiva. The operation, run by the SBU, included targets in Russia, but the government would not officially acknowledge it. Malyuk pointed out that the SBU needs to go through multiple deliberations before implementation, and has launched a crackdown on Russian oil refining facilities, which has reduced production capacity by 12% this year. News headline, If the debt problem is not solved, China will face a once-in-a-century storm. Release time, March 28, 2024. Information reference, Free Electronic News. News highlights, Dalio, co-founder of Bridgewater Associates, the world's largest hedge fund, pointed out that China is facing a big storm once in a century and needs to solve its debt problem, otherwise it may fall into a lost decade similar to Japan in the 1990s. He urged Chinese leaders to reduce the debt burden, improve elderly care services, address the gap between rich and poor, and address global climate and geopolitical issues. Dalio warned that China's debt pressure combined with conflict, technological change, and natural disasters created conditions for a storm. News headline, Taiwan cheat Wang's 25-year 10 billion fertilizer contract sparks controversy, Miao Boya reveals the 4 major ills live broadcast. Release time, March 27, 2024. Information reference, FTV News. News highlights, the super lucrative contract signed between Taiwan Shikuang and the Haolongbin government has caused controversy. Miao Boya exposed the 4 major shortcomings of the contract: fake bot, the city government guarantees the income of the industry; fake royalties, if the income is less than 1.5 billion, the city will not get a dime; exemption of road use fees, the city government will receive 50 million less per year. Citizens, the preferential plan is actually false. Taiwan Intelligent Optical Network is more expensive than Chunghua Telecom. This contract is puzzling and raises many doubts. News headline: Welcome the spring rain season. 2 waves of frontal relay. It rained for 5 consecutive days. Lin Jiakai exposes the Qingming Festival holiday weather. Release time: March 28, 2024. Information reference: FTV News. News highlights: The Central Meteorological Administration pointed out that the weather turned unstable on the 28th and convective rainfall was prone to occur, marking the arrival of the spring rain season. In the future, the South China cloud system will affect Taiwan. The rainfall will increase from the 30th, with the heaviest rain from the 31st to April 1st. There may be local severe thunderstorms in the central and northern parts. The rain will weaken from next Tuesday and it will be sunny to cloudy everywhere. In terms of temperature, it ranges from 28 to 29 degrees in the north and 29 to 31 degrees in the south, with the feeling of sweltering increasing. There is a high chance of rainfall in the south today, accompanied by lightning strikes. The rain will be more pronounced in the first half of the day and will slow down in the second half of the day. Please bring rain gear when going out. News headline: Pollen 2 dead. 2 cases unexpectedly reported in Tainan. Woman developed tea-colored urine and liver failure after eating rice cakes. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News Network. News highlights: The food poisoning case at the A13 vegetarian restaurant Bailin Tea House in Yunbei Xinyi has expanded to 14 cases across Taiwan. 2 cases of Tainan residents developed serious symptoms after eating on March 21 and 22, including tea-colored urine. One of the women developed dizziness, diarrhea, vomiting, etc. after eating rice noodles and was hospitalized for treatment. Another person also developed similar symptoms after eating rice noodles. The Tainan City Government Health Bureau stated that it will actively investigate the case, and the municipal hospital has notified the relevant situation. Food safety issues have aroused social concern, and follow-up investigations are ongoing. News headline: The deadly culprit may not only be rice fermentation acid. Doctors reveal the key point cannot be saved in Bailin case. Just look at the dead and you will know. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News Network. News highlights: 2 deaths due to food poisoning at Bailin Tea House attracted attention. Experts speculated that the toxin may be related to rice fermentation acid, but nephrologist Zhang Xiaoshan pointed out that other toxins may still be present. The victim's onset was rapid and did not meet the incubation period of bacteria or viruses, ruling out the possibility of fried rice syndrome or Enterobacter cactus. Zhang Xiaoshan pointed out that the risk of using expired ingredients is high. The boss will close the business and there is a high possibility of using expired ingredients. The cause of death of the victim was multiple organ system failure or hepatorenal syndrome, not simple renal failure. News headline: Pollen 2 dead. National Taiwan University doctor warns against repeated heating of this kind of rice and noodles. Rice fermentation acid is even more explosive. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News Network. News highlights: 2 people died in the Polam Tea House food poisoning case, and the Ministry of Health and Welfare pointed out that the possibility of rice fermentation acid toxins has increased. Expert Li Jianzhong pointed out that rice fermentation acid is more deadly than cactus poison, causing multiple organ failure. He emphasized that expired ingredients may be a source of contamination and mentioned that reheating rice and noodles should be avoided. Li also reminded that homemade fermented food is susceptible to contamination and needs to pay attention to food hygiene, and suggested that merchants strengthen management. For treatment, there is currently no effective method, and organ support is the only hope. Prevention is important. Pay attention to food processing and cooking hygiene and avoid eating potentially contaminated food. News headline: Pollen was poisoned and 2 died. Cai Zheng Yuan shockingly reveals one key doubt, so strange that it is very unusual. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News Network. News highlights: 2 people died due to suspected food poisoning at Yunbei Xinyi A13 Bailin Tea House, causing panic. Former legislator Cai Zheng Yuan pointed out the key doubts. The incident spanned many days, was highly toxic, and dispersed personnel, which was inconsistent with normalcy. He suspected poisoning and was puzzled by the poisoning for many days in a row. Cai emphasized that food is usually made on the same day, questioned why the poison occurred in consecutive days, and called for the truth of the incident to be clarified. News headline: Poisoning is not ruled out in the Bailin case. The doctor suddenly mentioned the 1,000-faced man incident and revealed the key. Did he remember something? Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News Network. News highlights: The food poisoning case at the Bailin Tea House in Yunbei Xinyi A13 has resulted in the death of 2 people. The Ministry of Health and Welfare pointed out that rice fermentation acid was the fatal culprit, but did not rule out the possibility of human poisoning. The doctor's mention of the man with 1,000 faces incident triggered heated discussions. This incident has previously caused poisoning cases caused by cyanide placed in energy drinks. Netizens are controversial about this, suspecting the possibility of food disposal or the end of the lease, but there is still no conclusion. News headline: Taichung's famous 24-hour braised pork rice is served on the roadside. Birds step on the meat and eat like crazy. Business owner: one reason why birds can take advantage of it. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlight: the famous Xiaosu pork rice in Nantan, Taichung was exposed to expose the meat outdoors, attracting birds to look for food. The store explained that the meat needed to be de-iced, so it was left exposed, and that the meat had been processed. Netizens are talking a lot and are concerned about health issues. The store is located in a prosperous area, business is booming, and it is open 24 hours a day. The store promises to strengthen management. News headline: breaking into Wu Shanru's coffee shop in East District, smashing the shop and saying, "Wu Zongxian owes me money, please pay me back." The identities of the two suspects were transferred to the Beijing Inquisition and exposed. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: the boring coffee opened by artist Wu Shanru was smashed by two men with bats yesterday. The police arrested two people in the early morning. One of them was a driver of a fraud group and the other had a drug record. The two confessed that they smashed the store because they were dissatisfied with Wu Zongxian's hosting style, and there was no debt dispute. The police transferred the matter to the prosecutor for investigation. The store is still open for business as usual. Previously, the store was hit with gold paper by unknown persons in 2018 for unknown reasons. News headline: Zhang Lan once again controls the Big SS Ku Junyi's seed. Big SS lawyer couldn't bear to fight back and key evidence was exposed. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: the divorce lawsuit between Big S, Su Ziwan, and Wang Xiaofei caused a stir. Her ex-mother-in-law Zhang Lan posted a complaint letter accusing Big SS lawyer Deng Jiajing of false accusation and defamation, and demanded punishment from the Shanghai Justice Bureau and the Lawyers Association. Deng Jiajing fired back, saying that Zhang Lan and Wang Xiaofei would destroy Big S if they don't get Big S. Lawyer Deng also stated that he had verified that Big S had no contact with Gu Junyi, proving that Zhang Lan's accusation was untrue. News headline: a 26-year-old doctor died at home. He worked for 100 days in a row before his death. His superiors asked him to support, "I only take 5 days off a year." Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: Japanese doctor Takashi Machingo died unfortunately in 2022 due to overwork, which attracted social attention. Working overtime caused him psychological overload and even faced a suicide crisis. The Labor Bureau determined that his death was a work-related accident, and his parents filed a lawsuit for compensation. This case highlights the serious problem of physician overwork in Japan, and some hospitals plan to seek exceptions to cope with the new regulations. Physicians not only have to deal with heavy diagnosis and treatment work, but also handle other business tasks, which increases their workload. News headline: divorce lawsuit failed miserably. Ai Fukuhara was asked about her remarriage plan and told her everything. Release time: March 27, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: in an interview with mainland Chinese media, Ai Fukuhara stated that she is open to remarriage and believes that marriage is determined by fate and that no one can predict the future. She emphasized that life is full of variables and one should not be too persistent and should face everything in the future with an open mind. News headline: K Wen's made another gaffe, my vote rate is much higher than yours. Pan-European Green Party complains face-to-face, Han Kuo-yu's reaction exposed. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: Taiwan Legislative Yuan President Han Kuo-yu received a delegation from the Pan-European Green Party to Taiwan on the 27th. The leader, Bao Ruhan, mentioned that K Wen's laughed and said that his support rate was higher than that of the European Green Party, which caused a burst of embarrassing laughter at the scene. Han Kuo-yu welcomed the visiting delegation, praised the Green Party's ideas, and called for strengthening exchanges between Taiwan and Europe. Bao Ruhan said that the Green Party has expanded to many countries and will strive for more support. This move is regarded as Han Kuo-yu's response to K Wen's. News headline: does he want to see Ma Yingzhu? Cai Zheng Yuan reveals the inside story of the second meeting between Ma and Xi, he really wants to ease the atmosphere. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: former President Ma Ying-jeou announced that he will embark on an 11-day cross-strait exchange trip on April 1. The Ma's office has positioned the trip as a peace trip. The outside world is concerned about whether he will meet Xi Jinping during the Beijing trip. Former legislator Tsai Ching-yuan said that Xi Jinping wanted to meet Ma Ying-jeou to ease cross-strait relations and show a moderate leadership style. Tsai believes that Ma Ying-jeou's moderate image is suitable for this occasion, and Xi Jinping is also willing to express goodwill to Taiwan through talks. This trip will help enhance cross-strait interaction and achieve peaceful coexistence. News headline: Are Master Atong and Lin Hejian miserable? Hong Kong media revealed that Lai Ching-tak took action. It may not be easy to return to politics. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: DPP spokesperson Wu Zhang responded to Chen Mingtong's appeal for Lin Hejian's injustice by respecting the results of the school's investigation, which shows Lai Qing's attitude. Commentary analysis pointed out that this move is intended to eliminate gray space and avoid negative impact on the DPP, especially when electricity prices are about to be increased. Lai Qing's move not only considered his personal image, but also took into account the factors of the 2026 election, hoping not to be affected and maintain his political status. News headline: New wallets will suffer heavy losses in April. Electricity prices and mortgages will become more expensive, and license taxes will have to be paid. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: In April, Taiwan launched a number of new systems for people's livelihood. The electricity price has increased by about 11% on average, and the monthly electricity bill for residential users has increased by about 20 yuan. The central bank has raised interest rates by half, and the mortgage interest rates of public banks will increase by about 0.125%. The license tax has been levied, and a total of 8,231,699 vehicles across the country need to pay the tax. Tickets for the Taipei Municipal Zoo have been increased from NT$60 to NT$100. The price of high-speed rail lunch boxes has been adjusted to NT$110. Resource recycling in New Taipei City cannot be mixed and sorted, and violations are subject to a maximum fine of NT$6,000. Immunotherapy for gastric cancer and esophageal cancer is included in health insurance benefits. News headline: After shouting anti-government, he fired 3 shots at the Digital Development Department. The gunman once tried to rush upstairs, and the motive for the crime was revealed. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: At about 10 o'clock this morning, a man broke into the Yanping office of the Ministry of Digital Development with a gun, shouted anti-government slogans and opened fire, causing damage to the door and the first-floor wall. The guards immediately called the police to evacuate people and prevented the man from entering the office space. The police quickly arrived and arrested the man. No one was injured, and the Digital Department has provided surveillance footage to cooperate with the investigation. News headline: Internet rumors say Pichom will close down? Urgent response from netizens. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: Nethom, 8044, issued an announcement today to clarify online rumors alleging that Pichom has recently collapsed, emphasizing that the news is purely fictional and has caused serious negative impact. The company's operations are normal, its finances are sound, its cash is abundant and its use of funds is prudent. We call on the public to distinguish between truth and falsehood and not be influenced by false statements. At the same time, netizens stated that they would reserve the right to pursue legal actions and pursue legal responsibility against those who spread rumors. News headline: Watch it once to save your life. Symptoms of rice yeast acidosis and 9 high-risk foods. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: 2 people died and 4 others were in critical condition due to food poisoning at the Bailin Tea House. The Ministry of Health and Welfare said it may have been caused by rice fermentation acid. Nutritionist Cheng Hanyu pointed out that the incubation period of rice fermentation acid is 1 to 10 hours. Symptoms of poisoning include discomfort, abdominal pain, vomiting, etc. The main organs affected are the liver, brain, and kidneys. Foods susceptible to contamination include modified starch, fresh white fungus, fermented corn, and coconut products. Mainland monitoring shows that the mortality rate of rice fermentation acid poisoning is as high as 29.5%, mostly in rural areas and mountainous areas, and the public is warned to pay attention to food safety. News headline: Investors have been buying every day since March. Hon Hai has reached a high of more than 15 years, and these Hong Kong troops have performed well. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: Hon Hai, 2,317. Stock price has risen for 19 consecutive days, breaking through a 15.5-year high, and the target price of foreign investors has soared to 181 yuan. Last year all three rates rose, and dividend distribution was the highest since 1991. The AI server business is expected to grow and gross profit margin is expected to improve. Foreign investors are optimistic that Honhai will benefit from Huida's new chips, which will increase revenue and gross profit margin, and raise the target price to 181 yuan. Investment trust continued to be overbought, driving the stock price to soar. Neighboring Hengjiajin also benefited, with Guangzhou, Zhengda, etc. hitting their daily limit. News headline: the sluggish mainland stock market was surprised to find that the big monster stock that soared 14 daily limits in a row was actually a Taiwanese company. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: AI Precision stock price has been at the daily limit for 19 consecutive days, with the stock price soaring 294.3%, attracting market attention. The company has recently issued a number of risk warnings, stating that the stock price seriously deviates from the actual situation and there is the risk of irrational speculation, and investors should be vigilant. AI Precision has a small market value and lackluster performance. It is expected to make only 5.5 to 8 million yuan in profits in 2023. This surge is closely related to the intervention of hot money. The market sentiment is overheated and the risks are high. News headline: Tong Xixian denounces wafer foundries as power-eating monsters as too extreme. 5 solutions to boost industrial resilience. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: Tong Xixian, chairman of Pegatron, 4938, pointed out that new technologies will redefine national power, emphasizing that computing power and electricity are crucial to national competitiveness. Taiwan should reallocate resources, strengthen electricity and water infrastructure, and encourage innovative service industries to export internationally. He emphasized that wafer manufacturing should not be labeled as an electricity-eating monster and advocated innovative ways to respond to rising electricity prices. Tong Xixian called on Taiwan to make good use of AI technology, restart the entrepreneurial trend, and strengthen agriculture as a strategic industry. News headline: the mortgage loan pressure of young people has hit a new high. These young people are most likely to become hunchbacks. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: according to statistics from the Taiwan Housing Group, in 2023, young people aged 20 to 35 in Taiwan will bear an average mortgage loan of NT $8.62 million, a record high, and mortgage pressure continues to rise. In the past 10 years, the mortgage loan pressure of young people has increased by 2.8 million yuan, and the proportion of home buyers has gradually declined to 32.2%. Young people in Kaohsiung City have the strongest ability to buy houses, but young people in Taipei City have the heaviest mortgage debt, with an average of NT $14.7 million. Although Hsinchu County and City bear high housing loans, they still have strong ability to purchase houses. Rising housing prices have made it expensive for young people to buy houses, and young people are facing heavy economic pressure. News headline: today is Guanyan's birthday. Do 3 things and eat 2 things to prosper both people and wealth. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Dongsan News. News highlights: February 19 of the lunar calendar is the birthday of Guanyan Bodhisattva, which falls on March 28 this year. Traditional folk customs include worshipping Guanyan, eating vegetarian food, and saying auspicious words. On this day, eating tofu and vegetables can bring prosperity to people and wealth. Taboos for Guanyan students include not wearing fancy clothes and not talking loudly. The best time to worship Guanyan is from 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock noon. People born in the year of monkey, rabbit, and rooster can be blessed to make a fortune by worshipping Guanyan on this day. It is recommended to invest or learn financial management to improve their wealth. News headline: found it. Dutiful son fell into the water and sister begged Beishaden Mazu for help, her body surfaced. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Dongsan News. News highlights: a 22-year-old man surnamed Liu fell into the water in Meili Lihudan Reservoir and disappeared on the 13th. His family prayed to Mazu to take him home. At around 7 o'clock this morning, his body was fished ashore, and his family members went to the funeral home to identify the body. The sister knelt down and cried. The younger brother was the only son in the family and had taken care of his father for many years. The prosecutor will conduct a physical examination to clarify the cause of death. News headline: U.S. cargo ship collision control dialogue revealed, it only took 1 minute from the time traffic control was issued to the bridge collapse. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Television News. News highlights: the K Bridge in Baltimore, USA, was hit by the container ship Daily. 6 workers were missing, and the bodies of 2 of them have been recovered. The control unit was notified within 1 minute, but the accident could not be avoided. The engine and power failed completely before the ship lost control, and the vehicle fell into the water after the bridge broke. The incident occurred suddenly and the cockpit was extremely tense and unavoidable. The Transportation Safety Board has obtained ship data records and will reconstruct the full picture of the incident. News headline: Remember to bring an umbrella when you go out. Rain bombs hit Taiwan, with the most significant rainfall over the weekend. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Television News. News highlights: Today, the Central Meteorological Administration pointed out that southwesterly winds bring warm and humid air, with temperatures ranging from 28 to 29 degrees in the north, 29 to 31 degrees in central and southern Taiwan, 18 to 19 degrees in the morning in northern Taiwan, and 20 to 22 degrees in other areas. There was convective rainfall in the south, accompanied by lightning strikes. There were also brief showers in the central and Huadong areas, and the rain slowed down in the second half of the day. There will be some brief showers tomorrow morning, and it will be cloudy in the second half of the day with stable temperatures. Moisture will increase on Saturday, with brief showers in some areas. Next Sunday, convective rainfall will be more obvious, and the rain will continue north of the central part, while other areas will be cloudy. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, the rain belt will move northward, the moisture will decrease, and there will be local brief showers. The air quality in the central and southern parts improved today, but there was a slight accumulation in the north of the central part. Yunnan and Huadong were rated as good and other areas were rated as fair. News headline: A total of 19 cases of balin poisoning. A look at the victim's medical condition. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Zhongtian News. News highlights: The food poisoning case at Balin Tea House was initially determined to be rice fermentation acid. As of today, 19 cases have been reported, including 2 deaths and 5 severe cases. After the food poisoning occurred, the relevant authorities quickly launched an investigation. The Health Bureau discovered hygienic flaws in the restaurant and carried out relevant measures. Most of the cases developed symptoms after eating fried rice noodles, and some required hospitalization. The Taipei District Prosecutor's Office has intervened in the investigation, and the Food and Drug Administration also held a press conference to explain the case and call on the public to seek medical treatment in time if they have relevant symptoms. The situation is still developing and the police will continue to follow up the investigation. News headline: Look at the ID card. These 2 codes appear: buy one get one free at Starbucks. The second cup of supermarket coffee is 10 yuan. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Zhongtian News. News highlights: Modern life is stressful, and coffee has become a must-have for energy. Starbucks is celebrating its 26th anniversary, and those with ID cards whose last 2 digits are 2 and 6 can enjoy a buy one get one free discount. 7 to 11 launches a number of discounts during the cherry blossom season, including buy 7 get 7 free American style. OK Mart buys high-speed rail tickets instantly enjoy buy one get one free on a large Americano. The second cup of Lyle's espresso is RMB 10, and Family Mart's new Thai thick coconut latte is on sale for a limited time. Major supermarkets are competing to launch discounts to meet customer needs. News headline: Hong Kong star Lai Lai-shi died of illness at the age of 58. He died in his sleep this morning after fighting cancer for half a year. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Eat a Day Starlight Cloud. News highlights: Hong Kong female singer Stephanie died at the age of 58 from cancer in her sleep. The news of her death made friends in the industry sad. Lai Mingxi is a beautiful female singer in the 1990s. Her representative works include Can't Stop Love, Falling in Love with Someone Who Doesn't Love Me, etc. In 2017, he sang a cover of the classic song Dare to Hate, Dare to Love on the show. In recent years, he has rarely appeared in the public eye, which surprised fans. The news of her death attracted widespread attention and condolences. News headline: Xia Hexian's hot wife gives birth. Taking care of her eldest daughter to accompany the childbirth, the whole family of 4 is here and she is stunningly beautiful without makeup. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Eat a Day Starlight Cloud. News highlights: Xia Hexian's wife Chen Xianyi gave birth to her second daughter successfully on the 28th, named Xia Yunfu, and she and her eldest daughter Xia Yunya became a warm family of 4. Chen Xianyi showed maternal love on the operating table, while Xia Hexian was by her side, and the whole family welcomed the arrival of the new member. Xia Hexian revealed that he would name his son Rock to show his love for his daughter. Chen Xianyi emphasized the need to balance family and work, and hoped to achieve success at all stages. News headline: Qiangqiang 610,000 YT channel disclosure of full income. The employee revealed the answer. She clapped in surprise. So many. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Eat a Day Starlight Cloud. News highlights: Qiang, Lin Jiaoling, has entered the field of YouTuber since her debut in I Love Black Club and established a welfare cultural and creative studio, and her career has been booming. She generously disclosed the channel's advertising revenue in 2023 in a video on the 27th. The estimated revenue of 1 million was as high as 4.5 million, which was a surprise. What surprised her the most was that the video by Boutique in Paris became the most expensive in advertising, earning 120,000 yuan, which aroused applause and exclamation. Chiang worked with her team to increase channel subscriptions by 270,000, 7 videos with over 1 million views, and 660 million impressions. News headline: Chen Hian reveals that her 8-year-old daughter is suspected of being hyperactive. I confessed my reasons for appearing on Xiao's program teaching my daughter to fake a smile. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Eat a Day Starlight Cloud. News highlights: Beautiful anchor Chen Hian brought her beloved daughter Yang Yang to Miss Buletin City, and the children had fun dancing K-pop in front of the camera. Chen Hian said that fake smile is just a joke in the show and encourages children to be themselves. She praised Xiao for his friendly host and was worried that the child might be hyperactive, but the program was managed smoothly. She appealed to the audience to take it easy and shared the video in the hope that it would be viewed by millions. News headline: Yilin pulls out of the case. Current boyfriend defrauded fans of RMB 30 million and lied. She was in the intensive care unit. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Eat a Day Starlight Cloud. News highlights: Former South Korean actress Uriam was exposed as a domestic violence and suicide incident. Her current boyfriend is suspected of defrauding fans of 30 million in her name, and even falsely claimed that she was pregnant to ask for money. Fans criticized the incident after discovering it. One of the victims recorded a conversation with Sue's boyfriend, which showed the fraud. The incident has attracted widespread attention from society. Uriam is currently in the hospital, but the true situation is questionable. News headline: Con Erman, author of Think Fast, Slow and Nobel Prize-winning economist, dies. His life is full of legends. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Vision magazine. News highlights: Con Erman, the father of behavioral economics, passed away on March 27 at the age of 90. Although he did not receive training in economics, he created the field of behavioral economics and made profound contributions to economics. Con Erman lived in France occupied by Nazi Germany during his childhood. His Jewish identity made him realize the complexity of human nature early on. His collaboration with Tversky laid the foundation for behavioral economics and later won the Nobel Prize in economics. The news of his death is regrettable, but his teachings will live on forever. News headline: Will Taiwan become an AI OEM hub? The meaning behind Akala's 660 million investment led by Chunghwa Telecom. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Vision magazine. News highlights: Akala received NT $660 million in investment led by Chunghwa Telecom, emphasizing AI transformation. Although cloud services overlap, Chunghwa Telecom emphasizes strategic cooperation because Akala is good at different levels of professional knowledge, channels, and competition. Akala cooperates with Chunghwa Telecom to demonstrate the integration of software and hardware and the new direction of Taiwan's transformation into an AI foundry. Taiwan has shifted from semiconductor foundry to AI foundry, taking advantage of the growth of chip capabilities and the trend of lightweight AI models to develop AI solutions and software and hardware integration, and is expected to play an important role in the implementation of AI applications. News headline: Largan is attacking the battery market. 5-minute fast charging for major features can resist Japan's Toshiba. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Vision magazine. News highlights: Largan held a rare press conference and announced its investment in new energy company Wanyi Energy, which specializes in titanium niobate batteries and quickly entered the green energy industry. The move may be related to the weak mobile phone market. The electric vehicle market has huge potential, and titanium niobate materials can provide advantages such as fast charging and long life, seizing market opportunities. Facing competitors such as Toshiba, Wanyi Energy has gained a competitive advantage by relying on patented technology. Although challenging, this move has brought new growth momentum and the future is promising. News headline: German policy supports storing carbon dioxide under the sea. Huantuan, unfavorable to carbon reduction transformation. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Vision magazine. News highlights: German Economy Minister Habeck proposed a new carbon capture and storage (CCS) policy to allow carbon storage in the waters of Germany's exclusive economic zone to meet the 2045 carbon neutrality goal. The move sparked controversy. Habeck said that CCS technology is mature and safe, but environmental groups are worried that it will hinder the transformation of carbon reduction. The German government is optimistic about this plan, but opposition still exists and the implementation of the policy remains to be seen. News headline: The latest global air pollution assessment is released. Only 7 countries meet the PM2.5 standards, and Taiwan is not among them. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, the latest air pollution assessment shows that only 7 countries in the world meet the WHO's PM2.5 standards, and Taiwan is not among them. A report by Swiss monitoring organization IQAir pointed out that air quality has improved in most areas, but pollution is serious in places such as Pakistan. Companies are catering to the wave of carbon reduction and actively remodeling their office spaces, while the Biden administration in the United States has adjusted its electric vehicle policy in response to political pressure. The International Maritime Organization's shipping industry carbon emission taxation plan is supported by 47 countries, but China and Brazil are opposed and will be further discussed in September this year. News headline, TSMC settles in Xi, crowding out people's water supply? The Water Conservancy Department offers 2 ways to open up new sources of income. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, TSMC will build 2 new advanced packaging plants in Xi Science Park, which will prioritize the use of recycled water supply and draw water from multiple water sources. The Qi County government also plans to increase the supply of recycled water and desalination to ensure stable water supply. In addition, the Huantuan proposed a carbon fee proposal, advocating that the carbon fee should start at least 500 yuan, and that corporate carbon emissions should not exceed 5% when using carbon rights. At the Smart City exhibition, smart solutions were displayed across Taiwan, and Kaohsiung City launched a smart water conservancy monitoring system. Ranaho has been successfully released into the wild and plans to introduce hydrogen energy and other technologies to strive for carbon neutrality by 2050. News headline, Xiao Xian was admitted to college at the age of 43 and was criticized. Are you sorry? She asked, why should I live the way others want? Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yahoo News. News highlight, Xiao Xian was admitted to the music department of Pingtung University as the top scorer, but was ridiculed by the critics for being too young to go to university. She insisted on not being affected and asked why she had to live up to others' expectations, emphasizing that her life did not need to conform to society's stereotypes. After sharing her journey on Facebook, netizens encouraged her, believing that age should not be an obstacle and that the most important thing is to bravely pursue the life you want. News headline, neighbors smoke and the smell of smoke fills the neighborhood. She just took out a can and sprayed it wildly and the whole network admired her. She is a brave person. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Yahoo News. News highlights, a female netizen met a neighbor who loved to smoke in the community, but responded repeatedly to no avail. Recently, I witnessed an ant spraying deodorizing spray on her neighbor in an elevator, causing an argument. The ant was unmoved, and the neighbor threatened to find someone to deal with it. Netizens praised the ant for being brave and said that she is a brave person, which made people laugh. News headline, poisoning case in Bailin Tea House? Is rice fermented acid responsible for the disease? National Taiwan University doctor, avoid reheating rice and noodles. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, the food poisoning incident at Bailin Tea House in Taipei City has resulted in the death of 2 people. The Ministry of Health and Welfare's first expert meeting concluded that it may be caused by Oriz. This toxin is extremely lethal and can be fatal even in trace amounts. Methods to identify poisoning include positive patient or food cultures. In terms of treatment, antibiotics are ineffective against the toxin, and recovery is expected with organ support alone. Homemade fermented foods are susceptible to contamination, so it is recommended to avoid rice and pasta that are reheated for a long time. News headline, can universities still produce good talents? Former president of Hong Kong University of Science and Technology Shi Wei points out 5 major challenges. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, Taiwan's higher education faces 5 major challenges: brain drain, insufficient internationalization, funding shortage, industry university gap, and low birth rate. Shi Wei, former president of the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, believes that universities should engage in interdisciplinary and innovative teaching to cultivate students' comprehensive abilities to cope with challenges. Taiwan needs to strengthen its international perspective, and companies must pay attention to the comprehensive quality of talents. Overall, establishing a talent recycling mechanism and promoting the formation of social consensus are the keys to solving challenges. News headline, Bond ETF investment is booming. The counter-buying center calls for attention to 3 major risks. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, the ODC buying center announced today that ODC bond ETFs continue to expand, with total assets of 81 ETFs reaching NT $2.29 trillion, and declared fundraising amounts reaching NT $398 billion. Investors should note that bond ETFs involve interest rate, credit, and exchange rate risks. This year, the transaction volume of secondary market bond ETFs reached 656.8 billion yuan, the average transaction value increased by 154%, and the number of transactions exceeded 1 million. The ODC Buying Center reminds that the interest rate of bond ETFs does not represent the rate of return. Investors should hold them for a long time and consider their financial resources and risk tolerance. News headline: The next Chrome AI browser ARC function unboxing. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: The ODC Buying Center announced today that ODC bond ETFs continue to expand, with total assets of 81 ETFs reaching NT $2.29 trillion, and declared fundraising amounts reaching NT $398 billion. Investors should note that bond ETFs involve interest rate, credit, and exchange rate risks. This year, the transaction volume of secondary market bond ETFs reached 656.8 billion yuan, the average transaction value increased by 154%, and the number of transactions exceeded 1 million. The ODC Buying Center reminds that the interest rate of bond ETFs does not represent the rate of return. Investors should hold them for a long time and consider their financial resources and risk tolerance. News headline: The shocking scene of Wen Bixia's head being burned by a candle was exposed. She still has lingering fear, she was almost disfigured. Release time: March 28, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: The 57-year-old Hong Kong actress Wen Bixia is known as the most beautiful daji and has a well-maintained appearance and figure. Recently, while attending the birthday party of well-known agent Chen Chufen, my hair was accidentally lit by a burning candle. Fortunately, my assistant discovered and extinguished the fire in time to avoid more serious injuries. Afterwards, she lamented that she was almost disfigured and said that she needed to repair the damaged hair. Despite this, she still shared beautiful photos on social media and thanked Chen Chufen for her support and encouragement in her acting career. News headline: Someone pooped on the shoulder of the highway. The police saw that it was the Golden Song diva. Release time: March 28, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: Taiwan's young singing prince Wu Junhong announced that he will hold his first solo concert back home on June 21 at the Hyde Hall of the Kaohsiung Cultural Center. He held a press conference today. He lamented that if the concert had been held a year earlier, his late father would have been happy. The Golden Song Queen Zhang Ziyuqing appeared to congratulate her and presented her with a collection of red wine. Wu Junhong revealed that the pressure of the concert caused constant diarrhea, while Zhang Ziyuqing shared an interesting story about how she had to go to the toilet urgently on the highway and was noticed by the National Highway Police. The two have a deep friendship. Zhang Ziyuqing often goes to the store run by Wu Junhong and is regarded as the boss's wife. Zhang Ziyuqing said that she is currently busy with her new album and has put aside her life affairs for the time being. News headline: Aaron Yan once had an accident after eating bailan. Difficulty breathing, dizziness, harsh words, explained to society. Release time: March 28, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: The vegetarian restaurant Bailan Tea House on A13, Xinyi District, Taipei City was involved in a food poisoning incident. A total of 16 cases of poisoning were reported across Taiwan, including 2 deaths and 5 serious cases. Entertainer Aaron Yan revealed that he had difficulty breathing, dizziness and nausea after eating Paulin's meals last year. Although he cannot be sure to be directly related to the incident, he called for more careful inspection of food safety and provided his own experience to raise awareness. Aaron Yan hopes that the incident will be treated seriously so that society can feel at ease and avoid causing people's uneasiness about their diet. News headline: Little S got married after admitting that she was dazzled by money. Role-playing was severely rejected by Su Yujin and she lamented that her 19-year marriage was boring. Release time: March 28, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: Dongzhe, Hailey, Sakanu and Maya, members of YouTuber This Group, participated in the Dongsan Comprehensive Miss Bulletin City hosted by Xiao S to share interesting things in their married life. Xiao S said that it was important for couples to be able to joke around together, and revealed that he was blinded by money and now feels extremely bored. She also jokingly said that if her husband disobeys her, she will have a 4th child. Dongzhe and Hailey got married last year. They usually like to play the game of Catch the Monkey. Sakanu pretended to read the Buddhist scriptures because he wanted to coax Maya to sleep, but ended up falling asleep first, leaving Maya dumbfounded. News headline: Ouyang Nana was once sad that my sister doesn't love me. Nini cried and admitted her mistake. I used to be very cruel to you. Release time: March 28, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: Ouyang Nini, Ouyang Nana, and their mother Fu Wan participated in Daughters, Moms and had a sincere exchange of emotions that moved people to tears. Nana shared that her biggest question in the past was why her sister didn't love her, while Nini recalled the past scene of holding her sister while crying and apologizing, which moved many viewers. Fu Wan admitted that although Didi is 19 years old, she still feels very young because Nini is by her side. Nini also admitted that when she was a child, she felt jealous of her sister, but she quickly adjusted her mood and felt that her sister needed more care. The three expressed their love for each other and showed their deep family emotions. News headline: Heating food kills bacteria but retains toxins. Doctor, food stored in the freezer for 3 months will soon be thrown away. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Yiping News Network. News highlights: Experts pointed out that the food poisoning case at Polam Tea House may be related to rice fermentation acid and reminded the public that food preservation methods are crucial. Physician Xiao Zhijian pointed out that many people mistakenly believe that high-temperature heating can kill all toxins. In fact, some toxins are heat-resistant and still exist even after heat treatment. He specifically mentioned that if frozen food has been stored for too long, the toxins will still remain even though it has been cooked, and it is recommended to discard food that has been in the freezer for more than 3 months. He recommends that cooked rice or bread should be frozen immediately to slow bacterial growth and lower the food's glycemic index. News headline: AirAsia apologizes. The reason for the removal of uncontrollable 8 characters from flying to Tokyo is revealed. Netizens are angry, blame the blame. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Yiping News Network. News highlights: AirAsia suddenly cancelled the route from Taipei to Tokyo, claiming that it was facing uncontrollable civil aviation challenges. Passengers were shocked and dissatisfied after receiving the cancellation letter. AirAsia apologizes to affected passengers and promises full refunds and assistance. However, many are skeptical of AirAsia's explanation, questioning whether they did not obtain traffic rights permission before selling tickets. AirAsia responded that more communication and clarification was needed, and emphasized that they hope to resume flight services as soon as possible. News headline: The Legislative Yuan will decide on Friday whether to freeze electricity prices or not. Fu Kunkai criticizes the wrong policy and the whole people will suffer. I heard that there will be another increase in October. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Liaj Daily. News highlights: The upcoming increase in domestic electricity prices has caused controversy. The Legislative Yuan passed the Kuomintang proposal to suspend the increase and require a review of energy policies. Fu Kunkai, the chief convener of the Kuomintang Legislative Yuan, pointed out that rising electricity prices will put greater pressure on grassroots and salaried workers and require congressional supervision. He proposed amending the electricity industry law to require changes in electricity prices to be subject to a public review. Fu Kunkai criticized the arbitrariness of the Electricity Price Review Committee of the Ministry of Economic Affairs and called on the government to accept supervision to avoid further increasing the burden on the people. News headline: The Digital Missile Department was shot 3 times, and the suspect's last post on Facebook was exposed. Nearly 1,000 words to accuse the government forces the people to rebel. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Liaj Daily. News highlights: A 54-year-old man fired 3 shots at the Digital Development Department on Yanping South Road, Zhongzheng District, Taipei City. The police quickly arrested the man. Before the incident, the man published a long post on Facebook criticizing the government's Ministry of Digital Information, accusing it of corruption and incompetence, which had led to Taipower's losses and people's living difficulties. The police said that the man was a BNB owner in Nantou. He was dissatisfied due to the impact of the epidemic and decided to go north to express his protest. The man confessed that the gun was purchased online, and the prosecutor is currently investigating. The man's post caused a lot of discussion, with some people supporting his behavior, but others condemning his extreme behavior. News headline: Polam Tea House director's one sentence caused public outrage. The villagers were dumbfounded. This is a bit stupid to say. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Liaj Daily. News highlights: Suspected food poisoning broke out at the Xinye 13 store of the well-known vegetarian restaurant Polan Tea House in Taipei. 17 people have been sent to hospital, and 2 of them died. Restaurant chairman Li Fengxian caused controversy in PTT when he said, "We are all vegetarians, so we are all safe." Many netizens criticized his inappropriate remarks, questioning whether vegetarianism has anything to do with poisoning, and pointed out that there are also toxins in plants. However, there have been calls to wait for test results to avoid a premature conviction. This incident triggered social concern and discussion. News headline: If you walk by, you will be 21. Fengjia University's 21 Road has entered history. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Television News. News highlights: the legend of the two-step path on the campus of Fengchia University in Taichung City has been going on for more than 20 years. Students believe that if they step on the grass, they will be 2-1, so they avoid taking this path. Rumors once triggered the school to hold a Seal the Second Day event, but now with the campus greening and beautification plan, the second step road will be demolished. Although this legend will soon be a thing of the past, it has become a part of the campus and holds memories for many students. The vice president of Fengchia University said that the campus legend is a common memory of the school, and the greening and landscaping project will bring a new look. Sealing the two-step road is also part of the progress of the campus. News headline: Rescue Sits. High-speed rail launches limited time discount on China travel coupon tickets, 20% off for additional tickets purchased before the end of June. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: China Television News. News highlights: Taiwan High-Speed Rail has launched the Go to Kaohsiung, Have Fun discount on the China travel coupon ticket. Passengers can enjoy discounts starting from 20% off when purchasing designated Kaohsiung area products and purchasing high-speed rail tickets, and the discount is 15% off during the transportation period. SITS coupons include a variety of travel products, such as experiences, attraction tickets, etc. You can freely mix and match according to your preferences, saving the cost of purchasing separate tickets and products. The promotion is valid until June 30th and can be purchased through multiple platforms. High-speed rail encourages travelers to enjoy traveling while enjoying multiple discounts and extra benefits. News headline: Supermarket meal box chicken contains dense white spots. People bought microwave ovens to take home and ate them. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News Network. News highlights: the recent food poisoning incident at Bailin Tea House has caused public concern. A consumer recalled buying a supermarket healthy bento earlier this year and found dense white spots on the chicken, causing panic. Although experts believe that it may be particles formed by dissolution of protein and are harmless to the body, consumers are concerned about the supermarket's handling procedures. The Consumer Protection Officer suggested that if you encounter problems, you can search for evidence to file a complaint or report, and called on the public to pay attention to food safety. The supermarket responded that it has contacted consumers and confirmed the production process, and promised to strictly follow food safety standards for production, hoping that people will not encounter similar situations again. News headline: See a doctor immediately for 8 poisoning symptoms. Poisoning causes, 4 self-rescue measures. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News Network. News highlights: a recent food poisoning incident occurred at Bailin Tea House in Taipei City, resulting in 2 deaths and 6 people suffering from nausea, vomiting and other symptoms. Common symptoms of food poisoning include diarrhea, vomiting, fever, abdominal pain, etc. The incubation period may be hours to days depending on the pathogen. Treatment is mainly supportive, such as getting more rest, replenishing fluids, and eating a light diet. Notifications of food poisoning should seek medical treatment promptly and retain relevant food or excreta to assist in subsequent investigations. If symptoms are severe or persist for an extended period of time, professional medical assistance should be sought. News headline: In the Sudan Red case, 20 million yuan in cash was found in the ceiling of the ex-wife's residence of the person in charge of Jinsan. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: Jinsan Company was suspected of selling chili powder containing Sudan Red and other illegal ingredients. The actual person in charge, Li Yanting, was detained and banned from seeing the company. The investigation found more than 20 million yuan in cash at the residence of his ex-wife surnamed Wu. Employees surnamed Li Yanting, Wu, and Xia have been detained, and prosecutors are tracing the source of the funds. Li Yanting later requested that the arraignment be allowed, but the court ordered him to be detained instead. Prosecutors believed that he was suspected of importing raw materials in the name of a forged company and conducting illegal processing and sales. The case is still under further investigation, and the prosecutors have maintained a low-key attitude towards the case. News headline: It tasted bad when I was a kid, but I love it when I grow up. Everyone named 2 dishes, the more bitter, the more delicious. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlight: A netizen shared on PTT how he hated foods such as eggplant and preserved eggs when he was a child, but fell in love with them when he grew up. Many netizens also left messages saying that bitter melon and green pepper were foods they only started to like when they grew up, and that their tastes changed with age. Other foods such as tomatoes, broccoli, sashimi, garlic, lettuce, pumpkin, papaya, etc. were also mentioned. Bitter melon is one of the most mentioned foods. Many people say they hated it when they were children, but now they think the more bitter it is, the more delicious it is. This may be due to changes in taste caused by age. News headline: Unwilling to be surpassed by TSMC and Huida. Samsung, reclaim the world's #1 throne within 3 years. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, according to statistics, among the top 10 semiconductor companies in the world in 2023, South Korea's Samsung will be surpassed by TSMC, Intel, and Huawei. However, Samsung Electronics has stated that it will return to the world's #1 position within 3 years. To achieve this goal, they plan to launch a series of market-leading new products, including the AI chip Mach 1 and investments to improve the competitiveness of memory products. In addition, they will also strengthen their foundry department and mass-produce smartphone processors using the 3nm process. News headline, Taiwan Railway has a new style card. Introducing successful score-chasing business card tickets to welcome the exam season. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, the Taiwan Railway Corporation has cooperated with the card company to launch a business card style card with the shape of chasing success, symbolizing blessings and cheers for students during the exam season. This special style includes a business card style ticket-shaped card, a Wenchang pen and a gold medal inscription pendant. Each set is priced at 250 yuan, and each person is limited to purchasing 5 sets at a time. In addition, Tra DreamWorks physical stores and online stores will also launch relevant promotions from April 1 to 30 to give passengers more choices. News headline, Watch Korean Doctors Collective Strike from Taiwan. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, the South Korean government plans to significantly increase the number of medical students, triggering collective protests by doctors. Doctors believe that this move will not solve the problem of insufficient physician manpower, but may instead reduce the quality of medical education. Doctors have been on strike for nearly 2 months, affecting primary medical services and creating an unresolved stalemate between the government and doctors. Doctors call on the government to reconsider its policies and focus on rationalizing the medical payment system. This move reflects Taiwan's medical problems, including distortion of medical resources and damage to medical quality caused by self-pay items, and the need to focus on medical education quality and payment system reform. News headline, Netflix April movie list recommendation, watch high-rated movies, TV series, and animations in film history at once. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, during the Tomb Sweeping Day holiday in 2024, there are many exciting film and television works on Netflix to watch. If you want to immerse yourself in a profound film, you can choose to watch Schindler's List, this classic work directed by Steven Spielberg, which has won wide acclaim for its touching story and delicate artistic expression. In addition, if you like monster movies, you can watch the Godzilla series on Netflix in one go, including Godzilla and Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters. These works not only have wonderful special effects, but also reflect society's attitude toward war, and reflections on the use of nuclear energy. For viewers who like to challenge their thinking, Spread is a classic disaster movie worth watching. Its realistic depiction of the spread of the epidemic is impressive. Those who are interested in stories of love and friendship can revisit the Sex and the City series. This American drama in the 1990s attracted a wide audience with its sharp observations and humorous stories. Finally, for animation and animation fans, City Hunter, Grimm's Fairy Tale Variations and Parasite, Grey Force are all works not to be missed. They each have different styles and stories and can satisfy the audience's diverse needs. Entertainment needs. News headline, Zheng's Haiqiao appears on the same stage as Transfer Hein. He and Chen Yuru expressed their feelings after being separated for 4 years after their marriage. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Ida Day Starlight Cloud. News highlights, Jo Tsung recently participated in a fashion overseas event and shared the stage with Chen Yuru for the first time after 4 years of separation. She expressed that she likes the romance of traveling alone and enjoys the feeling of blending into various environments. Although I am married, I still find traveling alone to be a special experience. She shared some travel tips, including preparing multiple small bags, making lists, bringing ritual items to increase your sense of security, and memorizing the location of items to prevent them from being lost. She also mentioned the joy of traveling with her significant other, especially having someone to help take photos and dine together. News headline, Huxia was revealed to have hidden 2 children for 5 years to be taken care of by her parents. Big twist of truth, fans all know. Release time, March 28, 2024. Data reference, Ida Day Starlight Cloud. News highlights, mainland singer Huxia became famous for singing the theme song those years from The Girl We Chased Together. She is passionately in love with actress Jin Chen. On the 28th, it was revealed that she has 2 children. It was later confirmed that it was an error. The child photographed by the paparazzi belongs to Huxia's male partner, and fans also claimed to have known about it for a long time. Huxia's studio quickly refuted the rumors, saying that Hu Xia recognized the two children as his godson and goddaughter.